Breastfeeding is one of the most effective ways to ensure child health and survival. However, contrary to World Health Organization recommendations, fewer than half of infants under 6 months old are exclusively breastfed. It is the ideal, safe and clean food for infants containing antibodies that protect against childhood illnesses. On the Nutrition Spot this Thursday, we discuss breastfeeding with our nutritionists, Kwasiima, Regina, and Zziwa, hosted by Gift Nakainga.
So, dear viewers of the Nutrition Spot, thank you so much for making it a point to be able to tune in better on TV. I believe there are those that are craving to be watching the show live on YouTube and on our Facebook. Kindly go on YouTube and put in better on TV Uganda. Then you'll be able to see this particular show, the Nutrition Spot, streaming. The same thing on Facebook, the better on TV, and then you'll be able to watch the Nutrition Spot. If in any case you have any admissions on our show tonight, kindly still put it in our comment section on YouTube and on Facebook. We shall be able to go there and read them out loud. And if you're out there and you would want to call and be a part of the discussion, please make it a point to call, but I'll let you know when you're going to call. The number will be over the screen. I'll also be able to read for you the number. But thank you so much. Just feel comfortable. I believe that Bethan TV is the best place for each one of you to be tonight. In the studios, I'm so much privileged to have our specialists, the nutritionists. And guess what? Today we're going to talk about breastfeeding. It concerns each one of us. If you're a father, a mother, a girl, a boy, are you planning to get married? Are you planning to have children? Are you planning anything to do with children? It really concerns each one of us, and I would want us to pay attention and also maybe get a notebook and note down something, because we're going to be learning. Allow me at this time to welcome our specialist in the house, Regina, our nutritionist. You're so much welcome.
Thank you, our host.
And Eddie, you're so much welcome.
Thank you.
Back to ladies first, anyway. Yeah, ladies first. Regina, something to our viewers and welcome them on the show.
Our viewers outside there, thank you so much for watching Bethany TV.
Welcome.
Today we are going to talk about breastfeeding. So mothers outside there and those planning to be mothers like me in the future.
I was about to ask whether you're breastfeeding.
No, I'm planning to be a mother in the future. So it's very good to breastfeed our babies, because we are going to talk about the benefits of breastfeeding. And yeah, I guess you learned something. I know that future mothers, we shall exclusively breastfeed our babies.
Thank you so much, Eddie, to the fathers. Okay, anyway, first welcome my viewers.
Thank you, our dear viewers, all that are watching us from the different channels, from YouTube, Facebook, and those that are watching live. I'm very glad that it's really very good when people get concerned about issues like breastfeeding, and now that next month, the first week of August, there is the breastfeeding week, and it's really good when we come up with such programs and people get more aware of what is good for their health. Yeah.
Do you think we should have men concentrate on this?
Yeah, surely. I do believe men should also concentrate on this. Even the children, well...
Why should men concentrate on this?
Because men are supposed to give support to the ladies as they do the breastfeeding. And even the children, when they're in their schools, the teenagers, well, they're still in high school, they should know that breastfeeding is a very good thing, such that by the time they get their babies, they're already sure that it's the best thing to do for their babies.
Thank you so much. I know that WHO and then UNICEF has different recommendations, and they really recommend that every child should be fed well, especially immediately after they're given birth to, and also exclusively breastfed for the next 6 months. So we would want to understand a number of things about breastfeeding, and one of the things tonight we would want to really understand is, why is breastfeeding a natural aspect of motherhood? Eddie, why do we have it as a natural aspect of motherhood?
So breastfeeding, first of all, it's the most natural way a mother can nourish their baby. It's easily accessible, and just like any other animal, just like all mammals produce breast milk for their young ones, the mother produces this milk in a way that is its composition and all its ingredients are formulated to specifically fit the nutrition of the baby. It's the most natural food a mother can ever give to their baby. And regarding its composition and all the nutrients in it and the way it is served, I believe there has not been any replacement or alternative that will ever reach the standard of breast milk. So it remains the gold standard.
I feel like asking the same question to Regina, knowing that she's an aspiring mother.
Yeah, I call breastfeeding the best gift any mother could give to their child. Reasons being, now imagine your baby is not breastfed, the benefits they are missing out. Not like me, I'm exclusively breastfed. I thank my mother outside there for exclusively breastfeeding me, because it has many benefits, as we are going to see in front there. For example, to the baby, it has many nutrients like the proteins, carbohydrates, energy, vitamins, minerals. All these nutrients are essential for the good growth and development of these babies. Other than having only nutrients, it has components, other components like a lysozyme, which prevents iron-dependent bacteria in the baby's GIT. So this iron-dependent bacteria, it prevents the baby from completely metabolizing that iron. So when that baby doesn't have that enough iron, they're going to have poor neurological development. Yeah, those are some of the benefits to the baby.
Thank you so much. I believe there are benefits to the mother, to the father, and to the society.
There are benefits to the mother, to the baby, even to the father and to the country at large.
Okay.
And these benefits begin right away from the moment the baby is produced. We encourage that breastfeeding is initiated within the first hour of birth. And that is what is being preached in all hospitals, referral hospitals around, even private hospitals. And this is because this breast milk, usually the very first milk that the mother produces, the colostrum, it's very little, it's yellow in color, but it's the best because it has the antibodies. Its composition is quite, there is nothing we can ever compare to its composition, because it provides the best immunity the baby can ever get at that very moment when they're just born. And even just looking at that moment when the baby is born, a lot of bacteria enters into the baby's body through the ears, through the eyes. And it's this colostrum that has the antibodies that are going to protect the baby from all those infections.
Yes, so you mean breastfeeding helps to boost the baby's immunity?
Yeah.
So
right
besides the nutrition, there is boosting the immunity.
True.
What other components or what else does breastfeeding bring about?
Yeah, so right from the time the baby starts breastfeeding, that very time when we attach the baby to the mother's belly, that skin-to-skin contact, that attachment is very vital. Even after a long period of time, we've seen that this attachment helps the baby to become more assured of themselves. We've seen that these babies who are breastfed, even during the very first hour, they are more confident later in life. They have this sense of assurance within them. And even apart from just that,
in addition to his point, this breast milk also contains these long polyunsaturated fatty acids. These fatty acids help in brain development of this baby. That's why you find breastfed children, like children breastfed up to like 2 years. Most of them in class, they be intelligent, very. So I would advise mothers, if at least to try to breastfeed up to 2 years.
Okay.
Exclusively is a must for the first 6 months, but then up to 2 years, because it's going to have many benefits to you, the mother, and then the baby. For the mother, breastfeeding helps you lose weight. How? A breastfeeding mother, you lose around 400-500 calories per day. Where do they go? You use them to make this breast milk.
I think mothers didn't know about that, because most of them have been
So most of you mothers, you be there outside, I have this weight gain, I'm not losing it, but you're also not breastfeeding. This breastfeeding also helps you lose that weight.
Okay.
It can also help you, it's also a natural form of family planning. How? If you're breastfeeding, you're not going to have ovulation.
If you're not ovulating, you won't get pregnant.
You won't get pregnant.
That is also a natural form of family planning, instead of taking these contraceptives that increase the chemicals in our body and then expose us to cancer.
Okay.
Then another benefit of breastfeeding to the mother, it reduces that uterine bleeding, the afterbirth. How? Because after giving birth, when you start breastfeeding, the breastfeeding process causes uterine contractions. These uterine contractions that occur frequently cause the uterine bleeding to stop. And also that hormone released during breastfeeding, the oxytocin hormone, also helps in preventing uterine contraction. And also this breastfeeding improves the child and mother bonding. When we are breastfeeding, there are two hormones released. We have prolactin and oxytocin. This oxytocin, it's usually called a love hormone,
okay,
or a cuddle chemical. So that oxytocin helps the mother relax and think more of their baby, concentrate more to their baby. That creates the bond, the mother-child bond. Yeah, thank you.
I feel like every mother is going to run to now breastfeed.
Yeah,
The other aspect of losing weight.
Yeah, true. And just what Regina said about breastfeeding being exclusive, I think our viewers should know what exclusive breastfeeding means.
Sure.
Because when we say exclusive breastfeeding, we mean that you should provide only and only breast milk during the first 6 months when the baby is born. You do not even include water.
During the first
6
months after the baby is born.
After the baby is born.
You don't provide any other food.
Any water apart from medications and supplements are prescribed by the medical personnel.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've had some parents who are like, I think my child is thirsty, I should maybe give them water, or I think the milk is maybe so concentrated, let me give them a little bit of water. But this milk, this breast milk, its composition, because it's a natural substance and it's adaptable, it keeps changing according to the baby's needs.
Oh, wow.
So you'll find that the composition on the first day you gave birth is different from the second day. Even the composition of the breast milk in the morning is different from that in the evening, and that is not with formula milk.
Okay.
So this breast milk itself has enough water for the baby. There is no need for you to get some water. Maybe you think the baby is thirsty or something like that. Yeah. So exclusive breastfeeding means that you only give breast milk for the first 6 months.
I think maybe to just ask you something on that, we've had many mothers immediately after giving birth, they maybe get other complications because of the pregnancy, and they are unable to breastfeed their children or their infants. So in that case, what is supposed to be given to that baby whereby the mother is unable to breastfeed?
Yeah, so there are a few rare conditions when indeed the mother is unable to breastfeed. For example, when they have maybe like mastitis, or they're having cracked nipples and they're bleeding, or during certain conditions, like recently we had the COVID-19 whereby there was some, COVID-19 was quite new and there were speculations that maybe the mother should not breastfeed the child. Even the recent Ebola epidemic when Ebola was very infectious and deadly, so they had to separate the mothers from their babies. So there are just a few conditions when actually the mother cannot breastfeed.
Okay.
But for most of the time, the very natural way, even for HIV positive mothers, the best way for them is to do exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, and even continue with other complementary feeds for the first year of life. So this very
tell us about the HIV, that if a mother is HIV positive and then they breastfeed, the child cannot get the HIV through breastfeeding.
To help him on that, or HIV transmission. When a mother is HIV positive and they have to I would advise them to exclusively breastfeed.
Even when they are negative, positive.
Yes. But following these two maybe points, the HIV positive mothers, they should strictly follow their ARV recommendations by the medical personnel, because these ARVs, that HIV medication, reduces the perinatal transmission during breastfeeding, and also work well consistently with that health personnel to keep on advising them. While they're doing checkups, they keep on advising them, now you can stop or you can continue, to be on a safe side for both the baby and the mother. Thank you.
Yeah, so to answer your question which you asked, what's the alternative in case this mother cannot breastfeed the baby? The very first thing they should do is, if they're able to express the milk, that would be good. That would be like an
Even when they
alternative.
have the cracked nipples,
So it
or
depends
on the
what condition they're having.
Okay.
If the condition allows them to express, then they can express. And yeah, because when they express, we are still having the same composition that was in the breast milk. The only difference is that we have the temperature is changing, and now you have to do maybe some refrigeration, and during that process you're going to lose some antibodies. Some of the components in this milk will get spoiled when, like, you maybe have to warm the milk or refrigerate it. Yeah, so always the best way is to have the baby take it directly from the nipple. But if that is not possible, then that's when we come in and express the milk.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, viewers. You are watching the Nutrition Spot, and this is Bethan TV for you. We are trying to shed light on breastfeeding. Why is it crucial? Why is it important? And why would we love to have every mother accept and embrace breastfeeding their children exclusively for the first 6 months? Maybe you can even go on 2 years, even 3 years, even 4 years, but exclusively, just like it is stated by the WHO and then the UNICEF. If you are watching us on YouTube, it is Bethan TV Uganda, and on Facebook, Bethan TV Uganda. You can also follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can also make it a point to watch the different programs that we have as Bethan TV. We have amazing programs, and basically we emphasize health because it's very important for you to be healthy, for health is wealth. So, well, we are diving into what society and culture does to impact this whole idea of breastfeeding. So to you, Zziwa, and then Regina, we believe there are culture beliefs, and then there are standards that are being set by the society if it comes to breastfeeding. So tell us about the culture and then the societal aspects if it comes to breastfeeding.
Yeah, so traditionally, I must say that traditionally we used to have a very good breastfeeding culture. Where mothers used to stay at home and do the breastfeeding. There wasn't this sort of modernity where mothers have to go to work. You find that nowadays the maternity leave for some workplaces is less than 2 months, or even sometimes just 1 month. Yeah, so there are changes that are going on in the world and in our communities, and these are affecting the breastfeeding culture. But I want to thank for the new policies that are coming in. The new policies that are coming in, we are finding that certain places now, places of work, people are having breastfeeding rooms. They are creating a safe environment for people to breastfeed. And yeah, so I believe that if we continue on with this, even we've seen some policies that are aiming at increasing the maternity leave to at least 6 months, so that at least for these 6 months you're only having exclusive breastfeeding, and maybe after, when the baby is done with that phase, they can later on go to work and maybe express the milk for the baby. Yeah, so I believe that maybe as things go on, much as the modern world is bringing in different habits, we can still stick to the gold standard and make sure that our babies are healthy, because what comes from this is that we always have significant outcomes, even later in life. Even after 10 years, after the baby has breastfed, we find that these benefits carry on and carry on.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, to those that have just joined us, we're looking at the different, the importance, we're looking at how best can our children be breastfed, and how can we help the mothers that are into this whole thing of breastfeeding, because I believe they really need the support that is physical and also that is emotional. People that are watching us on YouTube, you are doing an amazing job, but as you post, make it a point to let us know where you are watching Bethany TV from. And if any case you have any questions, maybe you can also post them there. We shall be able to review your questions. Those that would want to call, the number is going to be provided after we get off from the break. But we want to believe that breastfeeding has been a timeless practice and dating back to the dawn of humanity. And we believe that it's not only fundamental as a biological function, but also it's a beautiful journey that empowers mothers and nourishes the infants in a way that no any other kind of food or any other kinds of feeding can really nourish them. So back to our nutritionist, specialists that we have in the studio, would want to really understand how best can breastfeeding be done, because I believe for the first time mothers have issues trying to understand, how am I supposed to hold the baby, how am I supposed to clean the breast, how am I supposed to do this and that. So Regina, to the first time mothers that feel like it's a whole lot of work for them to breastfeed, how can you help them?
First of all, I would like to clarify the different myths about breastfeeding, because most mothers out there do not want to breastfeed because of those myths.
Yeah.
The first one, most mothers believe that when they breastfeed, their breasts are going to sag.
Yeah, isn't it true?
No, it's not true. Reason
very realistic. It's not true.
It's not true, okay. Because this sagging of the breasts is brought about by hormonal changes and the aging process, not breastfeeding.
Not
we have seen
like
many people breastfeed and their breasts are intact.
Let me ask Ed.
Yes.
No, that's a very
yeah, it's a very critical issue that ladies are always worried about.
We are.
But ideally, their breasts will not necessarily sag because of breastfeeding.
Okay.
Because even women who don't breastfeed,
yes,
the aging process will eventually make the breasts sag.
So it's always the age, not the breastfeeding.
It's the aging process.
Aging and hormonal changes.
Okay.
Then the second myth. Other mothers believe that I'll give my child infant formula to replace this breast milk. No, they are not the same. This breast milk has those antibodies that improve the immune function of the baby and make the baby grow healthily. But this infant formula may not have those antibodies, or they may not be in the same amounts as the ones in the breast milk. That's the second myth. So that breast milk does not equal to that infant formula that most mothers opt to these days.
Yes.
Yes. So I would advise the mothers to still breastfeed and not use infant formula. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think before we get any further, we should really acknowledge that breastfeeding is notorious and is a path. Those myths and misconceptions get us in a corner and we be like, no, I can't do this for the next 1 year. But yet, we are supposed to do it. Let's get into a break. We shall come back immediately. Those that are watching us online, please don't go anywhere.
You're watching Nutrition Sport. We'll be right back after the break. Bethany TV for health. Coming this July on Bethany TV, more goodies to look out for. Nourishing the Temple, Monday to Saturday at 6 a.m. for your spiritual inspiration. The Sunset Lounge, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. A fun and edu infotainment show after a busy day with lots of cash and prizes to be won. Health and lifestyle magazines at 8 p.m. Like a Rise Woman, all about women, and your exciting daily menu still continues at 6:30 a.m. Healthy Morning at 9 a.m. Be Hopeful at midday. Bethany Sports at 1 p.m. The Playlist 3:30 p.m. Movie at 9 p.m. Chicago Med. Here's the deal. Start your day with us and end it with us. Bethany TV for health. The Higher Life. The era of the world revolution with Apostle Dr. David Kunowa and Pastor Rita Bella Kunowa of Rivers of Life Assembly International, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Streaming every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. East African Standard Time with the incorruptible, incomparable, and revolutionizing life-transforming Word of God. Only on Bethany TV for Health. Road traffic crashes is one of the leading causes of death among young people aged 5 and 29 years. In 2022, Uganda registered 21,473 crashes, out of which 4,534 people died and 15,227 seriously injured. And on average, we lose 12 people daily. Legacy Road Safety Initiative, in partnership with KCCA, Ministry of Works and Transport, Ministry of Health, and Bethany TV, have organized the second Road Safety Marathon for the crash victims to help create awareness. The marathon will take place on the 23rd of July 2023, starting at 7 a.m. from Nakasero Primary School grounds. Book your kits at 25,000 from Legacy Road Safety Initiative offices or visit www.lrs-initiative.org to register. Call 0752 605 479.
Misconceptions surrounding disabilities and brain health. On Health and Wellness this Saturday, we aim to shed light on the importance of brain health for everyone, as well as the unique challenges faced by individuals living with disabilities. By exploring this crucial intersection, we hope to foster empathy, raise awareness, and promote inclusivity in our society. With your host, Dorothea Inembabazi, and your guest, CEO, Lifeline Health, John Tomusime.
Your perfect ignition for the day's inspiration prescription is on the Healthy Morning. Start your day informed about top stories, health, tech, and travel news as we give you the day's weather and traffic, business analysis, and sports updates. Healthy Morning, every weekday at 6:30 a.m. on Bethany TV. Bethany TV, for health. Honorable Balimwezo Ronald Nsubuga is an engineer by profession, a member of parliament for Nakawa East, and chairperson, KCCA Roads Committee. He has served as the ambassador of the Korean community in Uganda before and was on the honorary committee of the Global Social Economy Forum in 2018, among other responsibilities. He is married to one wife and is a father. Honorable Balimwezo lost his leg in a car accident in 2000, and when you listen to his story, you will understand why he says disability is not inability. Don't miss his story on Be Hopeful this Friday with Winnie Babazi at 9 a.m. on Bethany TV. Bethany TV for health. And now, more with Nutrition Sport.
You are watching Bethany TV for health, and this is the nutrition spot that we are discussing, breastfeeding. Why is it very crucial? Why is it very, very important? We've seen that come the next month of August, it's going to be the first week of August, actually, it's going to be the breastfeeding week. Why would even the World Health Organization gazette the entire week to just talk about breastfeeding, to just teach mothers about how best they can breastfeed? And I believe many mothers out there have questions of how do I know that my baby is satisfied? How do I get to know that this is enough time for me to breastfeed? How do I even get to know know that maybe my baby is responding to this breast milk? So with our experts, our nutritionist Regina and then our nutritionist Zziwa, enlightening us on all these different aspects. I'm going to start with Zziwa before I go. I've seen many messages on YouTube and I'm going to go through each and every message here. So Eddie, we've seen that many mothers have questions of how do I get to know that now my baby is full, I should stop, or for how long? Does it have a timeline? Am I supposed to do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? How is it supposed to be like?
Yeah, thank you, Gift. So breastfeeding should be quite a responsive habit. The mother should be able to identify signs and signals from the baby when the baby is hungry or when they're satisfied. Usually when they're hungry, they'll have signs like they'll stare at the breast, they'll reach out their hand, they'll have their mouth open. And when they're satisfied, you'll find that they're doing the reverse. So it depends, and the duration varies for different times. You might find at one time the baby is only breastfeeding for only 10 minutes. At other times they breastfeed for even longer. At other times they just breastfeed, you've just given them in 5 minutes, they're already done. So these mothers should also understand that sometimes babies breastfeed not because they're hungry, but because it brings pleasure to them. It's like their way of having pleasure or comfort. Wow. Maybe like if you're having a long journey, you might find the baby just wants to be at the breast, just for that comfort around there. And how mothers can monitor that indeed the babies are getting enough, they should look out for a steady weight gain. Because and also they should look out for wet diapers, at least 6 in a day. Yeah, that can at least give them an idea that their child is having enough
breast milk.
Yeah.
So Regina, you know, we can understand that now my baby is having enough, or now it's like this. But also there are I think I would call it the effective breastfeeding. There are those particular practices that get along with breastfeeding. What could be some of those practices that mothers should put into consideration to ensure that they're effectively breastfeeding their babies?
The first thing, I would advise all breastfeeding mothers, first of all, ensure proper hygiene before breastfeeding your baby. Wash your hands with warm water because remember, you're going to touch this breast. So if your hands have germs, you will infect the baby, because these babies are so sensitive since their immune system is not yet fully developed. And then I would also advise, just as a way of increasing breast milk supply from your breasts, I would advise you to gently massage the breasts before breastfeeding, because this massaging brings the more milk for the baby. So at the time the baby will reach to suckle it out of the breast, they will have a consistent flow instead of having it in bits. Then offering each breast twice to the baby.
Offering each twice, yes. Like interchangeably? Or?
Yeah, can first give the first one. If you feel like the baby is now maybe complaining that this is no longer enough, you shift. As you shift, this can be regained back. You offer back this breast, then you also offer each breast twice, each breastfeeding session. This also helps to completely empty this breast to prevent breast engorgement.
So if they do not completely empty,
yeah, you're going to have breast engorgement. You can even have infections like pus build-up in your breast. That is breast abscess. Then also mastitis, as we talked about it, an infection. So if they advise, if maybe your baby is full and they're showing signs that they are full after breastfeeding, but you still feel your breasts are heavy, you can express this milk into a clean container or clean baby's cup.
Talk about the container, talk about the storage of the container, talk about the cleaning of the container. If it comes to storage, is it should it have a particular temperature? How is it supposed to be like?
Yes, after expressing this breast milk, put it in a clean, maybe a baby's cup. Very cleaned with warm water is what I mean, not any water, because as I said, these babies are sensitive. Then place it in a refrigerator. But this breast milk you've expressed shouldn't go beyond 24 hours. After 24 hours, it is spoiled. So as you put it in the refrigerator, after putting it in the refrigerator, when the baby is hungry and it is still there, you can get it, warm it. How will you warm it? Get it, put it in a cup, put it in warm water. Place that cup in that warm water and warm it, then you give it to the baby.
Thank you so much, Regina. I would want to now have the different comments, all the submissions from our online audience. And some of them are just excited, like Simon, Eric, and Kirunji. Kirunji says, thanks for the great presentation, Kwasiima, we appreciate. Then Richie, the thumbs up to Lecturer Regina. And still he says that thanks to all the presenters, we're getting there. Then Eric says, I did not know about failure to ovulate while breastfeeding. Thanks, Regina, for that point. Then Kim says that thank you so much for an informative show. Thanks, Gift and Nutrition, Regina and Eddie. Then Agnes says, thank you, Beta and TV. We are really enjoying the show. Nutritionists, Regina, we are yes, learning from a future mother. Okay, and Roy says, wow, as a future parent, I'm taking notes. Thanks, Regina and Eddie. And Kwasiima says, thanks for the free medical education. And then Ayebale says, thanks for the show. I wish all mothers could access this kind of information because it's really important. Regina, oh, this is Ayebale. She's watching from Boyogedede. Then Esther, the show is amazing. Thank you, guys. Hannah says, enjoying the show from Nakaseke district. Oh, greetings to everyone in Nakaseke district. And Ayebale, greetings to the people in Boyogedede, Chileka Banda, and the areas that surround it. Then Kwasiima says that breast milk is indeed so good for the baby, but many workplaces are not baby friendly. Mothers find themselves choosing to breastfeed or just get off their jobs. So how can mothers balance work and breastfeeding? That's a question. And also Hannah says that how can working mothers practice exclusive breastfeeding because most workplaces do not allow them with children? Kindly help. So we're going to first answer these particular questions. That is Kwasiima, and then Mwebaze. I think it's about having mothers be accepted with their children at their workplaces. You're putting them in a dilemma, but I'll start with you, Eddie. Just imagine you're the boss, Katimunange. What will you do for these kinds of mothers? Would you accept them to come with their children at work, their kids? What would you do for them? Anyway, what are some of the solutions to this? Does it mean that mothers should quit breastfeeding or quit their jobs? How can we balance that too? Like you said, the world is evolving.
Yeah. So I highly believe this is a matter of national importance. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to this, I think the authorities we have in our societies, the government, they should really consider coming up with policies that favor a friendly environment for breastfeeding mothers, because the benefits from breast milk can even really contribute to economic development even later in life, because breastfed children, like we said, they're going to have less infections, they're going to be brighter in class, meaning these are the children that are going to become lawyers, they're going to become doctors in future, they're going to become engineers, just because of those first 2 years that you gave serious attention to. So it's a long-term goal, it's a long-term investment that we should actually, our bosses and the government and the people in authoritative positions, maybe they should consider and make this a possible thing to happen. Yeah.
How? Anyway, Regina, what do you think? Do you think that our bosses should agree to have children with their mothers at work? Or if it's not possible, which other alternative do we have, not this of mothers not working anymore?
I agree that bosses should put into consideration putting breastfeeding areas at the workplaces. But if that is not possible, then I would advise mothers to kindly express breast milk, because it's still the best nutrition for your baby. Express the breast milk. Leave it at home with a child caretaker. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I believe people having questions, I'm going to request our producers to put the number that you can use to call. Just tap that number and then call us in the studio. But there are people that are still asking questions, and someone is asking what causes cracked nipples in breastfeeding mothers. This is Simon, and Nicholas says, thanks for the show. I'm watching from Busheng. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Then Kitosi, okay, let's start with the cracked nipples.
The cracked nipples can be caused by maybe a baby biting your breast, or when the mother has dermatitis. A condition of flaky skin can also result into cracked nipples.
Oh, yeah. I think who was asking that question, that was Simon. I'd want to go to Barnabas. How do I preserve the breast milk locally without a refrigerator? Eddie.
Yeah, so locally without a refrigerator, it's quite hard, because once the milk is out of the breast, the only way you can preserve it is to make sure that it's at a temperature where germs are not going to multiply in there. So ideally, if they can't refrigerate it, the best way is to make sure that the child consumes the milk as soon as it's expressed. Even the one that is expressed, if you've warmed it for the baby to take, and anything happens and the baby doesn't take it, you should either discard it away, because after you've rewarmed again, you're not going to refrigerate another time. Yeah.
Okay, and then wow, Roy says that can that expressed milk be boiled in a pan instead? Wow.
You shouldn't boil that milk. Reason being, that breast milk, its composition has antibodies and so many other natural substances. If you apply that heat, they are going to get really spoiled. You'll be destroying all the composition.
Banag. Chokahana. Anyway, thank you for your question. But the questions are just amazing. The number is over your screen. That is 0786-050762. My name is Gifty Nakainga, and I'm so much honored to have our nutritionist, that is Regina and Zziwa. We're going to have a variety of questions answered, but before we go into those so many other questions that you have, we would want to tackle the do's and don'ts of when you are breastfeeding. What are you supposed to eat and what are you not supposed to breastfeed? Let me first have this caller. Hello. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
You are watching Bethan TV and it's the Nutrition Spot. Your names and where you're calling us from?
My name is Sharon. And I'm calling from Bukerere in Mukono district.
Your names?
My name is Sharon.
Yes, Sharon. Thank you for watching Bethan TV. We're looking at the importance of breastfeeding. So what do you have to say about that?
Most welcome. And I'm very happy this is a very educated show. I don't particularly have a question.
Okay.
But I'd just like to compliment what the nutritionist have said. I'm a mother of one.
Yes, Sharon.
A big boy.
Wow.
I breastfed my child and for 3.5 years.
3.5 years?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But I did not do it, by coincidence. I knew exactly what I was doing, exactly what the nutritionists were saying. So because of that, I did that because I wanted an intelligent child. I wanted to boost the immunity, etc., etc. But then also as a working father,
okay,
and the breadwinner, and the bread earner in the form of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go through those issues of how do you manage the breastfeeding and then you also have to work.
True.
Practically speaking, you cannot leave your work because you need the income. So for me, what I do, I breastfeed in the morning before leaving for work.
You breastfeed in the morning?
You know, when I get what they you know, the importance of breast expressing. So I breastfeed in the morning and leave whatever was required for the baby during the day. But then in the evening, again, I breastfeed and close the life.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I think that has been a query or a question that people are having, that how best can mothers that are working class be able to really breastfeed their children. Thank you so much for that testimony. She was able to breastfeed up to 3.5 years. That's shocking, and it's amazing. Yeah. But our time is running so fast, and I believe there are mothers or there are women that keep on complaining that I don't have enough breast milk. Okay, that they do not have enough. So what are some of the foods they are supposed to eat while breastfeeding, and what are some of those that they are not supposed to eat?
Yeah, so first of all, in most cases when women complain about not having enough, sometimes it's psychological because
oh, okay, we've lost that caller.
Yeah.
You can try to call her. Okay, hello? Hello? Okay, if try to call again. If you're calling, tell us where you are watching the program from and your names. Hello? You are watching Bethany TV and it's the Nutrition Spot. Where are you watching us from? Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so these mothers, most of the times, even when they think the milk is not enough, it's enough because the little you produce, sometimes it's about the frequency of how you're breastfeeding. You could be producing little, but you're breastfeeding maybe every after an hour or every after 2 hours, and in the end, that's enough for your body, for your baby at the end of the day. But in cases where indeed the mother is unable to produce enough, they can try to take in more fluids, and also you have certain plants like fenugreek, fennel seeds that they can incorporate into their diet that will help them to have more milk at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Regina. The practices that, okay, I would call them the practices, but what are they supposed to avoid while breastfeeding?
Mothers should avoid taking alcohol, smoking, because this alcohol and these cigarettes contain those dangerous substances. Once a breastfeeding mother takes them in, they will be taken into the milk, and then the baby will take this milk and also take in these dangerous substances like nicotine.
Yeah, I also
so
think,
it affects the baby in the long run.
It affects the baby because it's a dangerous substance.
Yeah, it's also crucial that during the breastfeeding period, the mothers watch out for which drugs they buy. They should avoid just getting drugs over the counter, and they should also avoid birth control pills because these drugs usually have substances that are not good for the baby, and whatever the mother takes in, it will be reflected in the breast milk. So they should be quite curious about what they should be they should pay attention to what they eat during the breastfeeding period.
Thank you so much, Eddie. I would want to read one more question from Nicholas. Okay, two. One of the question is, I think this is Simon. Simon says that what brings about crampy sensations in breastfeeding mothers? I should have Regina answer that.
The uterine contractions that occur after the postpartum bleeding cause these on and off cramping sessions.
Yeah, also during that time when they're breastfeeding, there are hormones that are being released. There is oxytocin that is responsible for the release of the milk from the breast, and those hormones also affect the uterus. So if they get those cramps when they're breastfeeding, it's quite normal. It's not something to worry about.
Thank you so much. I think this goes to Zziwa. Nicholas is asking that what are some of the effective strategies that should be that should address common breastfeeding challenges, and such as low milk supply or difficulties with lactating, and how can mothers best prepare themselves to overcome all this?
Yeah, so currently, when you move to some hospitals, you'll find that they have, in the maternity ward, before even these mothers give birth, you'll find there is a lactation consultant, there's a pediatric doctor, there is a lactation consultant that is going to guide them through. So these people are usually counseling them, and even the counseling helps them psychologically, because some mothers just don't have the confidence that they can produce that milk. So when they go through these sessions, even before giving birth, by the time they give birth, they are more assured of themselves and they know that they will produce enough milk. And yeah, so these systems, I believe, if they're also extended to the private hospitals and to the hospitals back in our rural areas where maybe they don't have these better health services, it will be really a good thing.
Thank you so much, Zziwa. We cannot exhaust or talk about breastfeeding and we finish it just in like 1 hour. The WHO is organizing to have the whole week just talking about breastfeeding, and for us we're having only 1 hour. But health is so much broad, and as Bethany TV we have so many programs that talk about health. So if you are a mother out there and you're so much interested in learning how to breastfeed, what it does and all that, just tune in. We have the pediatric voice that happens every single Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. So make it a point every Wednesday, not Thursday, every Wednesday 8 to 9 p.m. to tune in and watch the pediatric voice. It tackles everything that concerns children, and trust me, it will in detail bring for you breastfeeding. As the nutrition spot, we're going to stop here, but allow me appreciate the different viewers that have been online, that is on YouTube. I want to appreciate Yebale, then Blessing Simon, Eric, Kwasiima Rich, Chirunji Tarajen, Agnes Nantongo, Sekanja Krenma, Eric Nabasta, Esther Nakato, Lutamaguzi Javira, Mwebaze Hannah Roy, Barnabas Kutosi from Bududa. Thank you so much, Barnabas. Then Nicholas Nabukosi. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I think those are the people that we've had watching online, and those that have been diligent and watching us from their screens in their sitting rooms or wherever you've been watching us from. Those that are on Facebook, we've not been able to go into checking messages on Facebook, but thank you so much for loving the Nutrition Spot and loving Bethany TV. Just in less than a minute, Regina, greetings to the people in Hoima and
Thank you to all our viewers of Bethany TV and all my people in Hoima. I send you greetings. Thank you for watching. And to all mothers, as we head into the breastfeeding week, I advise you to kindly breastfeed our babies, especially for the first 6 months exclusively and up to 2 years with complementary feeding.
Thank you. Eddie.
Yes, thank you very much, our viewers, all those that have kept through the show. Yeah, we really thank you, and we believe that you'll make breastfeeding the gold standard way of nourishing the baby. Yeah, it's hard but very possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we shall embrace it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We believe that we can, one of the ways that we can transform our lives is through nutrition. So as the Nutrition Spot, we usually bring you a series of topics on how you're supposed to eat, how you are supposed to behave in the sense of what to eat and what not to eat. So every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. we usually talk about anything that is in line with nutrition, anything that is beyond nutrition, the other shows. So keep locked onto Bethany TV, because we have amazing programs that are here to teach you, to transform you, and make sure that you live your life at its best. So my name is Giftina Kaing. I want to appreciate the viewer that just called in, Sharon. Thank you so much for your wonderful testimony. So to those that want to be a part of this program, every Thursday 8 p.m. good night.